Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship is his.
Saturday's race inside Gillette Stadium leaves 2 rounds to go, but both red plate holders that are lining up for the 15th round of the series have a very realistic chance to clinch their title this weekend and race the rest of the respective rounds just for fun. Let's go over the scenarios our points leaders need to consider if they want to wrap up their championships early. First up, the 250 East, where Jett Lawrence has held the red plate since the opening round of the series in Minneapolis. The 18-year-old comes into the final true East round with a massive 47-point lead over RJ Hampshire, with every other rider already mathematically eliminated from the championship. Even if RJ wins in Foxborough this Saturday and also goes on to win the final East-West showdown in Salt Lake City, he would finish the season with 174 points, just 5 more than what Jett already has. So, if Jett wants to officially wrap the title up this weekend in Massachusetts, then all he needs to do is score 5 points, as he would hold the tiebreaker over RJ with 4 wins to RJ's 3. To get 5 points, the Australian-born rider would need to make the main and finish no worse than 18th place, and that is assuming that RJ wins. If anyone but RJ takes the checkers, then all Jett needs to do is finish 21st, and if RJ fails to finish 1st or 2nd this weekend, then Jett would win by default even if he misses the main event entirely. Moving on to the 450 class this weekend, Eli Tomac has an even bigger points lead. However, the Star Racing Yamaha rider has 3 races to go instead of just 2 like the 250 class to wrap up his title. Up 53 points over Monster Energy Kawasaki's Jason Anderson, Eli controls his own destiny this weekend, as it doesn't matter what place he scores, as long as he finishes ahead of Jason, then Eli would be officially crowned the 2022 Monster Energy Supercross Premier Class Champion with 2 rounds still to race. There is another way that Eli can win the title, even without beating Anderson. If both riders miss the podium, then Eli could still clinch as long as he finishes no more than 1 spot behind the number 21. If Jason wants to extend the championship chase another week and hope for a mistake by Tomac, then he needs to end up on the podium, and he needs to be ahead of Tomac. This will keep Eli's lead under 52 and force another meaningful round of racing in the 450 class. It is worth noting that Macolm Stewart and Barcia are both still mathematically eligible to win the championship for themselves, but Eli scoring a 13th or better this weekend would eliminate Barcia, and a 17th or better would seal Macolm Stewart out of the championship, even if either of the respective riders take the checkers on Saturday. Many might wonder why the riders would go out of their way to clinch early instead of just phoning in the last few rounds, rolling around in 10th, and the answer is pretty obvious. Anything can happen in Supercross. Clinching now clears them of any worry over the last 2 weeks when it comes to DNFs, mechanical failures, illness, or racing incidents. Remember back in 2018 when Jason Anderson looked to have the title well in hand before a broken wheel in the penultimate round sent Jason laps down early, and a late season tear by Marvin Musquin made the final round tense, as Anderson's 34-point lead going into the second to last was cut to just 14 points before the finale. Both of these guys would rather avoid that scenario altogether, especially Jett in the 250 class, since the East-West showdowns have produced some crazy final round main events in recent years, and with the stacked heats, the ever-present chance to miss the main completely. With all 3 red plates coming into the final few rounds so far ahead of the pack, do you think Supercross should work to tweak the point system to force the championships to be close down the stretch, similar to a playoff system or maybe something like NASCAR's Chase? Or do you prefer the marathon format that Supercross has now, where the crown is to be worn by the guy that was simply the most consistent the entire season, rewarding every race equally? Let me know your preference in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like button, and be sure to subscribe to RotoMoto for more breaking news and analysis like this. The #1 way to help get more eyes on my videos is to tell the platform that this was a good one, and if you value the content I put out, please consider joining me on Patreon for just about $1 per week. You help me continue to make this content for you and are also entered to win race used and autographed memorabilia from your favorite riders. Up for grab for the month of April is an autographed side plate from Cade Clayson's career best 10th place finish in Detroit this year. Thanks as always for watching RotoMoto. My name is Donnie. Keep it pinned to the weekend.